August 18, 2025 was meant to be a festive gathering of women from across communities, the annual August meeting in Ugunabo, Abia State. In the middle of her energetic and captivating performance, Mrs. Nwadima Dixon, popularly known as Nwaigari, collapsed. Despite efforts to revive her, she was pronounced dead at the scene, leaving behind a stunned crowd, a grieving family, and an industry in shock. Her death has reopened a conversation about the silent pressures artists face and what it really costs to do what you love. True Vision team spoke to stage performers and medical professionals who emphasized the importance of health, legacy, and care in the entertainment industry. Gari was known for her comedic brilliance, cultural storytelling, and fearless dance moves. Her passion reminds us just how physically demanding life on stage can be, especially for performers who give their all every single time. Exactly 1 year before Gari's death, the nation mourned another icon. Onyeka Onwenu, the celebrated singer, actress, and advocate often called the Elegant Stallion, also died after collapsing during a live stage performance. Two women, two eras, two legacies, lost in the same way while doing what they loved most. Sadly, they are not alone. Over the years, we've seen several prominent figures suffer sudden deaths during or shortly after live events. These include international stars like Sam Oparaji, who slumped and died during a World Cup qualifying match at the National Stadium in Lagos, 1989. But their death also raises urgent questions. Are performers pushing too hard? Jordan Afolayan, popularly known as Jody, and Okoha Tochukwu, with the stage name Emilio, share their experiences in the field as performing artists. They urge others in the industry to prioritize their health.
It's like a mixture of adrenaline and like a workout,
Yeah.
to stay connected to the audience. It's not really easy, but like I said, it's like a workout. You have to keep performing. You have to keep performing to make sure everything goes well. So I'll say just like it's like a workout. Giving energy non-stop, staying connected with the audience. Things like that. Justin Bieber, he fainted on stage. I think Techno too. A couple of artists has fainted, and I think it's due to dizziness. Sometimes over highness. Trying to beat the crowd. Trying
Yeah.
to have this confidence. It's not really easy, like seeing multiple crowd, and sometimes it might be challenges with personal issues. You know, but in general, I'll just say it's due to lack of rest. So I think they should rest more. You know, they should rest more. Like the importance of rest, like drink more water. To stay hydrated.
Artists actually go through a whole lot to make sure um, the performances are energetic, they are memorable, they are fun, they are, like hardcore to make sure everybody has fun before they go home. That's why you see Davido jumping on stage, you see Warner Boy trying to make sure everybody is good as he's performing. He could actually even stop and say, "Is everybody good?" and all of that. So yeah, um, music it is an energetic endeavor, so it actually takes a lot of energy. So I feel like the first thing that any artist needs to do is to learn to rest, learn to do their vocal exercises. In Nigeria, we don't really take that serious. You see artists smoking before they go on stage, you see them drinking and all of that. I think a precaution that I would say should be put in place is, always having your vocal coach on stage, always having your security, always having people who are healthcare personnel on stage to, always make sure everything is fine.
Renowned movie and stage director Nnamdi Odunanzi, who has worked with artists of all ages, emphasized that performance must consider the realities of age and health.
So as a performing artist, you know that every time or anytime they can call up on you for a show or for an event. Sleep well, eat well. Don't go and start greeting people here and there, traveling or blah, blah, blah before the performance. In life, most people don't check about their health status. You get what I'm saying? So in life, you should always know symptoms when it comes. This is what happened to you, and apart from what happens to you, what happened to you previously, we change. Our body system changes as we are getting older. The symptom you got last time might be times 2 of what you got last time when you were at the age of 20. When you are 30, it increases. Then there's a particular age you get to, it will drop back to when you were born. Now, most people don't go to the hospitals to check their body system, you know. And again, when your body tells you, I want to sleep.
To get a clearer understanding of the medical risks, I spoke with Dr. Izima Frank, a public health expert who shared critical insight on why sudden deaths, particularly during high-intensity performances, are on the rise. He advised all performers, no matter how healthy they think they are, to undergo annual cardiovascular screening, as it could literally save their lives.
Collapse in medical terms can mean sudden cardiac arrest, which is one of the commonest causes. It can also mean what people call as fainting, describe as fainting. Also, collapse can be used in normal parlance to describe stroke, someone that had a stroke. Okay, so in cardiac, the major causes of collapse is from the heart. When the heart is unable to pump enough blood to supply the body, including its own self. The major organ in the body that is affected by the heart's failure to pump is the brain and the heart itself. We have other causes that can make someone to collapse during exertion. Things like dehydration. When there is not enough water in the body, it puts so much stress on the little water available. Other things that can make people to suffer collapse during exertion is something like sickle cell anemia or any other issue that the patient may have, things like hypertension. Okay, those are the major things that put stress on the heart. Okay, then also if there's any event in the brain, like a stroke, majorly there are two major forms of stroke. There are ones that occur when patient is at rest, and also ones that occur when patient is actively moving. That's exertion. Physical exertion is when the person is doing physical activities. Okay, so these are the common things that can cause collapse. Then the major risk factors are age. People from 40 to 50 years and above, the capacity of the heart to do or withstand actions, physical activities that they used to withstand before is reducing with age. But that doesn't mean that younger athletes cannot have cardiac problem. There's a very common cardiac problem that they usually have. It's called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, when the heart is too large for its size. So it is a big problem because the heart will not be able to sustain its own nutrition. It is too big, so the tiny blood vessels originally designed to sustain the heart will not be enough to supply the heart with enough blood, oxygen, and nutrients. So eventually, when they are in active physical activity, especially strenuous ones, the heart will be overwhelmed and will not be able to sustain itself and they faint. Employing an active life keeps your heart healthy. Okay, eating habits. Okay, not eating eating late, eating a lot of processed foods. These are things that gives you a lot of calorie in small amounts that your body will not be able to use. The only way it can utilize is to store it up, and it is stored in fat. Okay, so when you increasing physical activity is the hallmark of preventing collapse, staying healthy. So the minimum WHO requirement is 150 minutes per week. So what we usually advise our clients and patients are you can do a minimum of 30 minutes exercise at least 5 times in a week, or 50 minutes exercise 3 times in a week. That's, I know 50 minutes is close to 1 hour. So if somebody can do 1 hour exercise 3 times a week, the person is very okay.
In an exclusive interview earlier, cardiovascular specialist Dr. Onye Achille, who also explained how extreme physical and emotional pressure on the heart can trigger fatal outcomes.
Sometimes people have some underlying heart conditions that is not known to the general public. It is not unusual for people to die in that environment because there are certain conditions that affect the heart, particularly the electrical part, that causes some disorder in the electrical conduction of the heart that are brought about by certain triggers such as emotions, stressors like exercise, swimming, loud noises. They can trigger certain kind of electrical disorder that is known. Sometimes that may be the first manifestation of death in that individual, but we know that these things can be hidden and then they are triggered by certain events, such as emotions like you just described. And we know that those things can be a trigger for certain heart conditions and they can lead to sudden death.
2 women, 2 eras, 2 incredible lives. Though they died on stage, their legacies of art, courage and inspiration will live on. As the lights continue to shine on stages, fields and arenas across the world, we must never forget, behind every glowing performance is a human being, vulnerable and mortal. Let this serve as a wake-up call to performers, managers and every stakeholder in the entertainment industry. Health is wealth and it must be protected. For True Vision TV, I am Stella Carlo.